Kids, I'm glad you have joined us for the Unit 7 review. First learning target, number 7a, we'll be able to tell if an ordered pair is a solution to a system of equations. All right, so the deal is we need to check both our x value and our y value into both equations. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the x value and plug it into the first one, take the y value, plug it in to the first one as well. So by doing so, we're going to have 4 times -3 plus 8, and we're going to see if that comes out to -4. That is going to be -12 plus 8. Does that come out to -4? And that is true. -4 is equal to -4. So at this point, we've just verified that this ordered pair is actually on the line 4x plus y equals -4. So what we have to do now is verify that it's actually on the second line as well. So the opposite of -3 plus 2 times 8, and we're going to see if that comes out to 10. So by doing this, the opposite of -3 is actually a +3, checking the second equation here. And what we can see at this point, that we are going to get 19 equal to 10. So since those are, or that is not a valid statement, that means the point is not on that line. Well, to be a solution, it's got to be on both lines. So at this point, we would say no, as in the point is not a solution. Okay, moving on to the second one here, learning target 7b. We're going to solve an equation, or a system of equations, by graphing. So immediately when you look at this, there's two types of graphing we've been talking about. This one has an equal sign. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the first one and we're going to get it into a comfy mode for graphing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 4x, doing this kind of above the problem here, but I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. So what we are left with is y equals -4x minus 4. All right, so I can go graph that right now if I'd like to. That means I'm going to go from my origin down 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to put a point. And then my slope here, we've been having a little bit of trouble with this lately. Remember, that slope is -4 over 1. So when we do this, make sure you're doing a rise, which is down, and a run, which is to the right, since it's positive. So from here now, grab that black pen back, we're going to go down 4 and right 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. And we could go 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1 again. Instead of down 4, right 1, we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, left 1. And I suggest you do this as many times as your graph allows. Okay, and what we would do, and I'm going to try my best here, that once I got all these, 1, 2, 3, 4, hard to see on the graph here, I'm going to try 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1 to graph a line here, which I'll admit right now may not be the easiest for me to do. All right, so what we're doing is we're getting a nice little humor, nice laugh about how I graph lines on this video. This is not easy with this technology. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to erase the two lines that I attempted to draw, and I'm going to ask you to kind of see where that line would be. I will try to go a little bit slower here. It moves on me. If you think this is hilarious, I'm glad, and I would invite you to try it sometime. All right, now I'm going to move into blue here, and I'm going to solve this second equation for y. So I'm going to add x to both sides. Now remember, when I add x to 10, I am not allowed to combine those like terms because they're not like. So what I'm going to have is x plus 10, and then dividing everything by 2, I will get, dividing everything by 2 here, I will get y equal to, be very careful, there is a 1 here. So I'm getting a lot of kids telling me this is 2x. It is not 2x, it is 1/2 x plus 5. Okay, so in blue, I'll graph this, and I'm going to go up 5 right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my positive up 1 over 2 slope. What I can see here is that when I go down 1, left 2, this blue line Gets better with time. This blue line and this black line actually cross at this ordered pair right there. So the actual solution to this system is that ordered pair, which would be left 2, so negative 2, and up 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 2, 4. Now, any of these problems we do on this entire review and on the test, you can take your answers and plug them back in and check. Now I'm going to show you on this first one what I mean by that. So in red here, if I go up to the top equation and do 4 times negative 2, add my y value, which I know is 4, I'm going to see if this is actually coming out to negative 4. Well, this is negative 8 plus 4, and that does come out to negative 4. So it works in the first equation. Now in the second equation, it tells us to take the opposite of x. Well, my x is negative 2, so the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2. And we're going to add 2 times the y value of 4, and we're going to see if that comes out to 10. Well, we can see very easily there that 2 plus 8 is equal to 10. So I've just verified it works in both of them. I've just verified that this is a solution to my problem here. So that's good. It's a good thing for you to do in this entire review and on the test. All right, so here's the deal. Substitution method is the next one we're going to talk about here in this video. So we've been showing you in class, you don't have to do it like we've been saying, but we've been showing you kind of a T-chart idea of how to do these problems. So on both of these, you're looking for a coefficient of 1. Well, I have a coefficient of 1 on both of these, so it really does not matter which equation you start with. We've said start with the easier one. We've said look for a coefficient of 1. But in this problem, the difficulty level is basically the same. So we split it up like this, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract 2y from both sides. So we're going to get 8 minus 2y. I'm going to solve for x here because I want to plug it in for the x value on the other side. So now when I go to this side here, instead of writing x, I'm going to write 8 minus 2y. And then I'm going to keep going with the minus 2y. So x basically turned into 8 minus 2y. Now, a lot of times I put parentheses around that. I did not on this one, and the reason I didn't on this one is because there was a coefficient of 1 on the x. It wasn't going to really affect the problem. So now I go and solve. I've got 8 minus 4y. When I combine like terms there equals 0. Subtract 8 from both sides. Negative 4y equals negative 8. Divide both sides by negative 4, and we're getting a y value of 2. Now after I get that y value of 2, I'm going to plug it into the other side, and I'm going to find my x value. So x is going to come out to 8 minus 2 times the y value of 2 that I just found. So x is equal to 8 minus 4. So x is equal to 4. So our answer to this problem is x value of 4, y value of 2. And again, if we plug those in and check them, they should come out to true statements for both. All right, so we're just giving you a little bit more practice with each of the methods. There's plenty of practice throughout all of your reviews, but we're going to move on to the elimination method now. Now the elimination method, what we'd love to do is just add down. Well, for elimination to work right away, it's when we add down and the variables cancel out. Well, when I add 3x and 2x, I get 5x. When I add negative 4y and positive 1y, I get negative 3y. They don't cancel. But I hope you would see here that if I highlight this, if this said right here, if that said negative 4y, I'm sorry, positive 4y, that would be great because negative 4y plus a positive 4y would eliminate the y's. So that's the route I'm going to take on this one. I'm actually going to get rid of, or I'm sorry, not get rid of, but multiply this bottom equation here by 4. Okay, the top one I'm going to leave entirely the same, so I'm just going to show multiplication by 1. So the top one is just going to be 3x minus 4y equals 12. No change. But I got to multiply the left and the right side by this 4. So what that's going to do is that's going to make an 8x, and that's going to make the 4y that we wanted, but on the right side it's going to change it to 32. So now we're golden. Now we're ready to add down, which was the goal of this problem. Negative 4y plus 4y is actually just 0, so they're gone. But you must add everywhere else. So 3x plus 8x, I'm getting 11x, and then that's going to equal over here 44. And it's this point that we get kind of excited because we see that when we divide both sides by 11, I'm going to get an x value of 4. Now I'm going to show my work over here, but really what I'm doing is I'm just taking this and I'm putting it right in there. So basically to finish this problem, I'm going to take 2 times x, which is now 4, and I'm going to add y to that, and I'm going to get 8. So now I solved the problem. 8 plus something is equal to 8. I hope you can see that y is going to be equal to 0. So what's the answer to this problem? It is 4, 0. And we got that by the elimination method. If any of this didn't make sense on this first page, go back, rewatch it, watch it over and over again. Hopefully it'll make sense.